The soul of the home, folk interior design ideas to warm every room. Folk interior design, a soulful, charming, and deeply personal style that reflects regional culture, handcrafted details, and an appreciation for heritage. With its unique ability to blend nostalgia with artistry, folk design creates spaces that feel lived in, meaningful, and emotionally rich. This 1,300-word article dives deep into the essence of folk interior design, exploring its characteristics, regional influences, and practical ideas to incorporate folk charm into any home. What is folk interior design? Folk interior design is rooted in cultural heritage and the traditions of rural communities. It draws on local craftsmanship, handcrafted elements, and patterns inspired by nature, storytelling, and everyday life, unlike mass-produced or trend-driven decor. Folk design celebrates imperfection, history, and artistry passed down through generations. Every country and often each region has its own version of folk design. Whether it's the vibrant textiles of Mexican otomi, the embroidered motifs of Eastern Europe, or the rustic charm of Scandinavian farmhouse interiors, folk style captures the spirit of a people through colors, materials, and symbolism. Key characteristics of folk interior design. To better understand how to bring folk style into your home, it helps to know what defines this aesthetic. Here are some of the primary elements that give folk design its distinctive character. 1. Handcrafted elements. Folk interiors emphasize handmade objects, wood carvings, hand-woven rugs, pottery, baskets, and embroidery. These items not only bring visual interest but also carry emotional value, often made by artisans or passed down through generations. 2. Natural materials. Wood, clay, wool, stone, and linen are staples of folk interiors. These materials are valued not just for their durability but for their earthy, tactile qualities that bring nature indoors. 3. Rich patterns and motifs. Folk design is rarely minimalist. Expect to see a generous use of patterns, often floral, geometric, or animal motifs on textiles, ceramics, and furniture. Each motif often has a symbolic meaning tied to fertility, protection, love, or prosperity. 4. Regional color palettes. Color choices often reflect the natural environment or local traditions. For example, Polish folk design may include bright reds, greens, and blues, while Scandinavian folk interiors lean toward whites and soft pastels accented with red or deep blue. 5. Vintage and upcycled decor. Other than focusing on new items, folk design often incorporates vintage pieces, heirlooms, flea market finds, or upcycled furniture. These add a sense of history and storytelling to the space. Global folk influences and ideas to steal. Each region contributes its own flavor to folk design. Here's a look at some international folk aesthetics and how you can translate them into modern interiors. 1. Scandinavian folk style. Calm and cozy. Scandinavian folk interiors are a blend of minimalist design and rustic warmth, drawing from countries like Sweden, Norway, and Finland. This style is characterized by pale wood floors and furniture, and white color schemes with traditional rose maling, decorative painting, woven wall hangings, and whereupon through and natural light for a hig cozy atmosphere. Tip: add a Swedish Mora clock or display a Dala horse as a symbol of cultural heritage. 2. Eastern European charm. Bold and lively countries like Poland, Hungary, and Ukraine bring vibrant energy to folk interiors. Embroidered textiles with bold floral patterns, painted wooden furniture, often with decorative motifs, handcrafted ceramic plates and jugs as wall decorless curtains, an intricate doilies. Tip: use a vintage chest or hope box at the foot of your bed for both storage and style. 3. American folk. Rustic meets whimsy. American folk design blends colonial simplicity with rural charm. Quilts, patchwork, and shaker-style furniture, mason jars, tin lanterns, and barnwood. Folk art. Paintings and signs with inspirational messages, rocking chairs, and hand-braided rugs. Tip: hang a hand-painted barn star above the doorway for a touch of Americana. For Latin American folk, color and celebration. In Latin American cultures, folk design is bursting with vivid colors and joyful symbolism. Brightly painted furniture and walls, embroidered otomi or Peruvian textiles, Day of the Dead motifs, and Frida Kahlo-inspired art, terracotta pottery, and macrame accents. Tip: use papel, picado banners, or hand-woven baskets for festive flair. 5. Asian folk. Spiritual and symbolic. Asian folk interiors incorporate sacred symbols, rich textures, and a connection to nature. Chinese paper lanterns, Japanese washi prints, or Indian block printed fabrics, bamboo, silk, or carved wood, lotus, koi fish, and tree of life motifs. Floor cushions and low wooden table. Tip: incorporate a hand-painted folding screen or a carved altar table to honor cultural practices. bringing folk style into a modern home. You don't have to live in a countryside cottage or historical farmhouse to enjoy folk design. Here's how to adapt this timeless style to contemporary homes. 1. Mix old and new, pair antique or handmade items with modern furniture for a balanced look. For instance, a modern white sofa can be adorned with embroidered folk pillows for contrast. 2. Create a feature wall. Host a folk-inspired wallpaper or mural with folkloric patterns to create a focal point in a room. This works especially well in dining rooms, bedrooms, or entertails. 3. Layer textiles. Folk textiles as throws, tablecloths, wall hangings, or even framed art. The more textures and layers, the richer the story your home tells. 4. Curate a gallery of folk art. Collect regional paintings, cross-stitch works, or handcrafted pieces and create a dedicated gallery wall. These items become conversation starters and lend cultural authenticity. 5. Choose folk lighting lamps with embroidered shades, painted bases, or rustic wrought iron detailing can become art pieces themselves while still serving a functional purpose. 6. Decorate seasonally. Folk design is often tied to seasonal traditions. During holidays or harvest time, decorate with natural elements like dried flowers, carved gourds, or handmade ornaments. Folk projects for personal touches. One of the most beautiful aspects of folk interior design is its invitation to craft your own decor. A few easy DIY ideas include: paint a small stool with folk motifs or florals. Create a patchwork pillow using scrap fabric and basic sewing. Stencil a folk pattern on a wooden chest or wall. Embroider a linen napkin with traditional symbols from your heritage. These projects not only add personality to your space but also connect you to the crafting traditions that define folk design. Why folk design is making a comeback in an age of digital overwhelm and sleek minimalism. Many people crave authenticity and emotional depth. Folk design offers a break from cookie-cutter interiors and allows for personal storytelling, whether it's through a family heirloom, a handmade rug, or a motif that honors your heritage. Folk design makes your home feel truly yours.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe if you like videos like this. Thank you.